So, let's talk about a story that is just wow. It's about love, sure, but it's really about a devastating deception and one of the most incredible comebacks you'll ever hear about.
Just think about that line for a second. These are the last words spoken at a wedding that never actually happened. They really set the stage for a story about what it means to take your power back.
Okay, so before we get to all that drama, you really have to understand what was at stake here. Let's rewind and see what looked, for all the world, like a perfect love story.
So, picture this. Chicago. We've got our couple, Emma and Ryan. And this isn't just some fling, we're talking 5 years. They had it all mapped out, from their first date to planning their careers side by side and finally getting engaged. I mean, on paper, it was absolutely perfect.
And right there with them, in the middle of it all, was Sophie, Emma's best friend. And when I say best friend, I mean she was the one person Emma trusted completely, no questions asked. And you just know that level of trust is what's going to make what happens next so painful. All right, so here we go. This is the moment where that perfect world starts to crumble.
So get this. We're just days away from the wedding, and a message pops up on Ryan's phone. It's from Sophie, followed by a little heart emoji. And in that 1 second, Emma's world just stops. A quick look through the phone, and bam, the unthinkable is true. Her fiancé and her best friend are having an affair.
And when she confronted them, you can probably guess what happened. She gets the classic, pathetic excuse from Ryan, "I didn't plan this, it just happened." Right. Sophie's playing the guilty friend, but it's too late. The two people she trusted most in the world had completely played her.
And that's really what's so devastating, isn't it? You have this whole life you thought was real, a 5-year relationship, all these plans for the future, a best friend you do anything for. And then you have the reality, a secret affair, a total web of lies. It's just a complete gut punch. But here's where the story takes a turn. Faced with this nightmare, Emma doesn't fly off the handle. She doesn't have a massive breakdown. No. Instead, a new plan starts taking shape in her mind. A plan that was about to go head-to-head with whatever cruel game her fiancé and best friend were playing.
See, Ryan and Sophie made a huge mistake. They saw her quiet, calm, and thought it was weakness. Their nasty little plan, they were actually going to reveal the affair at the wedding themselves to humiliate her. Can you even imagine? But what they had no idea about was that Emma was already 10 steps ahead of them. She was cooking up her own plan, not for revenge, but to take her power back.
And that brings us to the wedding day. The room is packed with friends, family, everything looks beautiful. Everyone's expecting to celebrate a wedding. What they're about to witness, though, is a masterclass in justice.
The music plays. Emma walks onto the stage, looking stunning in her dress. Ryan's over there, waiting, with this little smirk on his face, probably thinking his awful plan is about to kick off. The crowd is just waiting for the vows to start. They have no clue what's about to hit them. So Emma takes the microphone, but she doesn't start with "I do." Instead, she looks out at everyone and says calmly, "Before this wedding starts, I want to show something." And just like that, you could hear a pin drop. Everyone knew right then this was not going to be a normal wedding.
And then, whoosh, a screen behind the stage lights up. And there it is, all of it. Their secret texts, intimate photos, the entire affair, laid out for every single person to see. You can just imagine the gasps. The families are horrified. And Ryan, the color just drains from his face. Game over.
See, this wasn't about a messy, loud fight. This was about something way more powerful. The cold, hard truth. Her final move wasn't about getting even. It was about revealing what was real. So with all their lies projected on the screen behind her, she delivers that killer final line we started with. Love is built on trust, and you both broke it. And then she slowly, deliberately takes off her wedding ring. That's it, the final cut. And just like that, she turns her back on the whole mess and walks right off that stage. She doesn't stick around for the fallout. She leaves Ryan and Sophie standing there totally exposed to face the silent judgment of everyone they know. Their reputations just gone. As she walks out of that room, she is not a victim. She's the one in control. Emma doesn't leave broken. She leaves strong, independent, and for the first time in a long time, completely free. So, wow. What an incredible story. But what's the real takeaway here? What does this teach us about how to handle being deceived on such a massive scale? You know, when you think about it, Emma's real power wasn't in her anger, it was in her strategy.
She didn't just explode, she took control of the whole story. And it really shows you that sometimes the best response isn't about hurting someone back. It's about calmly laying out the truth and taking back your own narrative. And that really leaves us with a fascinating question, doesn't it? If you were in her shoes, facing that kind of betrayal, would you go for the public reveal? Or would you just walk away quietly and disappear from their lives forever? It's a tough one to think about.